It appears Jack Dorsey came up with a clever way to remove the Brent Spiner clone from Brent Spiner's Twitter. He let someone else have his job for a day. I love it!
Welcome to Twitter.
Happy to be here.
So, why are you here?
I want to take over your position.
I mean, you're walking into a super stressful job.
What do you do for when you're having a tough time and stressing out?
You ever meditate?
Not really.
Let's do it. So you just close your eyes, focus on the breath. See you in 15. Okay, keep focusing on the breath.
How much do you make?
It's $1.40 a year.
$1.40? Deal. Let's do it.
Here's your badge. Your CEO.
You guys gotta have that effect right here.
Can't wait to see what you do.
Yeah. By the way, you're fired.
Of course.
Edit button. You're all fired. You too. You. I just want you guys to pay attention. Yeah. You're all fired. Thank you.
What?
A lot of rappers are my fans. By the way, Jesus likes rap. As a Christian who respects Buddhists, I have no problem with Jack's meditating. If it calms him down and gives him peace, so be it. My nonfiction novel, Nirvana Oshu Fujiwara Dynasty, currently in progress, will be treating Buddhism with respect. Jesus is super cool with Buddhists, by the way. Let's see how long this lasts. I mean, keeping the clone off of Brent's Twitter. But I'm encouraged by this. Look at this image. If I'm right, this is a screenshot from Brent Spiner's Twitter that was taken the next day after I made the video asking Jack Dorsey to take the Brent Spiner clone off of Brent's Twitter. If I'm right that the real Brent may have his Twitter back, I'm sure Laurie's planning to get it back for the Brent Spiner clone. But I've seen some pretty strong evidence that the real Brent has his Twitter back. I blocked Brent's Twitter when the clone was in charge because that evil clone will lie about me and say I'm harassing him at Twitter if he remains in charge of Brent's Twitter. If I didn't block him, that's what he would do. I'd like to see that dorky picture removed and for Brent to put back his original photo where he was holding a glass of wine. I think the clone removed the original photo because the clone's nose is bigger than the real Brent's nose, and some astute people could tell he was a clone for that reason. As you can see, someone tweeted, "Get Gail on the show." If the clone was still in charge of Brent Spiner's Twitter, the clone would remove or mute that response on his Twitter timeline. He wouldn't allow it because it treats me with respect like I'm sane. Something Laurie McBride would never tolerate from her Cuckosaurus Rex husband, the Brent Spiner clone. Also note Brent's response to, yeah, but odds on you're for the killing of unborn children, or am I mistaken, Mr. Robot? The real Brent responds, hey, any chance you'd be willing to appear on my new reality show, Making Friends with the Stars? Also notice how Brent incorrectly used double quote marks instead of single quote marks around Making Friends with the Stars in his tweet. When you have quotes within quotes, it should be like this. Hey, any chance you'd be willing to appear on my new reality show? Notice single quotes around Making Friends with the Stars. Brent uses incorrect quote marks a lot when he quotes. It's incorrect English, but that's his style. So I think the real Brent did that tweet. I transcribed a lot of Brent's writing for Bible for Tribulation Saints, so I know how Brent uses quote marks. The real Brent's response is genuinely funny because Brent's humor is self-deprecating. And though he's not a conservative per se, he respects the right of others to have their own views. Whereas the clone tends to be snide and arrogant in all his responses and takes delight in making political points for his Democrat deep state boss, Laurie McBride, making his jokes not funny. However, the tweet that says, we're bringing back the death penalty, are medieval torture devices banned, or can we still use those? That sounds like the arrogant clone who's obsessed with insulting Donald Trump and makes derogatory, not funny jokes at conservatives, something the real Brent doesn't do. The clone's always trying to score political points for Laurie McBride, who takes a liberal, always politically correct, Democratic position in everything, and likes to remind everyone how right the establishment Dems are about everything, and instructs the clone, her Cuckosaurus Rex husband, to parrot her arrogant political views. Laurie McBride wants to boss the whole world so that she's free to rape and murder to her heart's content, and to put a puppet in charge of the U.S. who will do her bidding in everything, perhaps Joe Biden or Elizabeth Warren. I myself am a centrist libertarian, and I plan to vote for Tulsi Gabbard for president. I registered Democrat just to vote for Tulsi in the Dem primaries. I also gave Tulsi some financial support. She's the only political candidate I've ever given financial support to. I'm impressed with Tulsi's character and integrity, and I'm also impressed that Jack Dorsey has given Tulsi the maximum financial support that he's allowed to give her. People that support Tulsi tend to care about justice, human rights, peace, and love.